Finally, you entered hard mode and you are searching for the best weapon in your class. Don't worry, in this ranking I have for every class a weapon with it. So yeah, stay to the video and subscribe, and also a big thank you for all of you who subscribed already, because we hit 1000 subscribers and I really appreciate it. So yeah, big thank you to you all, and yeah, I won't disturb you anymore. Let's just begin with the video. Also, if you didn't know, early hard mode means pre-mechanical bosses, as a quick reminder, and yeah, I won't disturb you anymore. At number 5 we have the Blade Tongue, which is a sword which you can obtain by fishing in the Crimson biome. So yeah, not that hard to obtain, and actually I think the best sword in our case, because we have pre-mechanical bosses, and I think that's great choice because it has a 55 damage. It's not that hard to fish, but you have to fish it in the Crimson biome. Like I said, this may be for some of you a sign that you have to make a new server, but yeah, otherwise it's really worth it. It does 55 damage without any buffs or accessories, and it shoots also this Eacher stuff, which you can also, I think, if I'm sure, you can fish in the Crimson biome. And yeah, it shoots them, and they are similar to fire. When you shoot someone with fire, it deals 1 to 2 damage, I think, a second, but this does 3 to 7 seconds when you shoot a projectile. So as an example, this is a projectile, but when I swing with the sword, it does 5 to 9 damage a second. So yeah, pretty OP sword if you ask me against the Destroyer, because when you're against the Destroyer, you have to just stay safe and shoot the swords against him, and all of his particles and parts are gonna begin to burn, or against the Eye of the Twins. Great. So yeah, also I think for Skeleton, because Skeleton has also many parts of his body. So yeah, great sword for the melee class. Maybe a little bit boring to obtain because you have to fish, I know, but I think it's worth the time you invest in. And so yeah, let's move to number 4, and that it's the
Sanguine Staff.
And yeah, the
Sanguine Staff
is very strong, I think, in my opinion, pre-mechanical boss summoning weapon, because it's actually very easy to obtain. You only have to have a Blood Moon in your world, and during that you have to fish, and you have to fish out the Daedalus, which is this mob right here, which you see on the screen. But yeah, on classic mode it has 50% drop rate chance, and also in expert and master, if I'm sure, 100. So yeah, you just have to kill that mob maximum twice, which I think it's pretty nice. And yeah, it's great because each bat from this
Sanguine Staff
summons, I think, or deals 35 damage, which is pretty solid. And when you have 3 to 6 minions, it's gonna be a pretty solid damage, which also is gonna help you a lot. So yeah, great weapon, and I think it's even more worth it than the melee class in this ranking. So yeah, let's move to number 3, and that this time is a magic weapon, which is the Crystal Storm. And I think the Crystal Storm is great because it's not that hard to craft. Here's the recipe, of course: 15 Soul of Light, 20 crystal shards, you can find this in the Hallowed biome. These crystals that are all on the walls. Or do I have one to show? No, I think not this time, sorry. And a spellbook. So yeah, that's actually not that hard to craft and pretty obtainable, and actually has a huge benefits because it uses only 5 mana per shot, and with some accessories you can decrease that mana usage by 20%, I'm pretty sure. You can get also some accessories for the damage, and then it can go from 32 to, I don't know, 40 or 45 shots per shot, which I think it's pretty good in my opinion for one single shot that costs 5 mana, and overall we have something like 200 mana, which is pretty good. So yeah, it has a great value. It shoots, I'm gonna probably show right now you a clip. It shoots little crystals that are just bumping against the walls when they need, because when they cannot go to the walls, they're gonna bump against the wall and then go like this maybe. I had this book personally in my 100 days Terraria journey. It was pretty great. I used it for the mechanical bosses with number 2, so stay to the video to understand what number 2 is. And also number 1 is, I think, a game changer for you, but yeah, we'll get later on to that. So yeah, I think number 3 with a combination with number 2 is pretty great. So yeah, let's just get straight to number 2, and that it's the Shadow Flame Hell Dogs, which is actually pretty similar to number 3 because it deals also 32 damage and consumes 6 mana, but I think it's more efficient because it's not that for long range. Maybe if you're fighting against the Skeleton Prime, it would be better if you use number 3, but as example against the Destroyer, number 2 will be much better because it's more close range, and I think that is very great for the bosses like the Destroyer or the Golem even, but I think that weapon's not strong enough for the Golem, because it's actually also pre-mechanical bosses. You can obtain this by the Goblin Warlock during the Goblin Invasion. Here's, I think, gonna be a hitbox for the video. So yeah, I can watch this if you don't know how to summon this event. And yeah, I think it's pretty worth it because it's more efficient than the number 3, because number 3 it's actually pretty cool for long range and anything, but I think damage per second is better on number 2, the Shadow Hero. So yeah, I think number 2 is better just because of the efficiency it does with its damage. But yeah, at all they're pretty similar. It was, I think, a little bit harder to rank both these because I thought about it about 10 minutes, which should be number 2 and 3. But yeah, I put at the end Shadow Flame Hero on number 2. So yeah, and I think you might be very surprised what's gonna be on number 1, or maybe not. But yeah, let's get to number 1. More or less surprisingly, the Daedalus Stormbow, which you can obtain by a Hallowed Mimic. So yeah, I think this bow is pretty great because it shoots arrows like a storm. I'm maybe probably gonna show you a clip of it, how it exactly works, because maybe some of you don't know if you're new to Terraria, but that's not a problem, of course. But yeah, here's, I think, the clip that I'm gonna probably show you right now. It shoots arrows like a storm, and combined with some very nice arrows like the... I don't know if I'm pretty sure because I don't have much clue about arrows, but maybe at least something like the Hellfire arrows, at least, will be a great combination with that, and you can take out bosses like the Destroyer, Skeleton Prime, or the Twins very, very easy. Even I think maybe Pantera, but Pantera is like in a locked room because, and you also have to build arena for her, sorry. And yeah, I think it's more efficient on more wider open bosses. So yeah, great for the mechanical bosses. I really recommend you this. Yeah, it does, the bow itself does 38 damage per arrow. And combined with some other good arrows, maybe that they do 20 to 30 damage, not the Hellfire one, but I'm gonna take the Hellfire as example. I thought you're gonna do 60 to 80 damage, and with other accessories that are gonna save you arrows and do more damage or buffs or anything, I think it's gonna be a really deadly nice combination for the bosses. And we will not have any chance against you, I think, probably, because I think for like I put this on a ranking on number 1. This is the best weapon for pre-mechanical bosses, so we have to defeat them. Yeah, you can use all of these weapons which I put in this video. So that was with the video, guys. I hope I could entertain you. So if I could, I would really appreciate if you subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that. And yeah, again, big thank you for 1000 subscribers. And I think maybe I'm gonna put you now a video if you are maybe searching for a good mount. Here's a video for top 5 best mounts in Terraria here somewhere. And yeah, have a great day and goodbye.